Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Weber. John Kernan is off. He's only up to question 47 on that census form. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching right now, you're really a dedicated race fan. Coming up on the show, it's the Little E and the Big D. We'll hear from BP, the road course recap from Charlotte, and a look ahead to see if we'll have 8 different winners in the first 8 Winston Cup races. But on top of the news, the FIA heard from Team McLaren and driver David Coulthard on Monday. Coulthard was stripped of his second-place finish at Brazil 1 week ago due to an illegal front wing. Coulthard told the European media he was confident of a favorable ruling. The board is expected to announce its decision on Tuesday. Rich Bickle will return to the Winston Cup Series this weekend at Martinsville, subbing for the injured Jeffrey Bodine in the Power Team Chevy. Bickle posted his career best Winston Cup finish at Martinsville in September of 1998 when he finished 4th driving for Cale Yarborough. Bodine hopes to return to the seat of his car in time to race at California on April 30th. Elliott Sadler is recovering from a deep bruise in his left shoulder suffered Sunday when he was hit by the rubber from his shredded left rear tire. Sadler is at home recovering while the Wood brothers are testing at Talladega. Rain has forced that session to be extended to Tuesday and Wednesday with Morgan Shepherd driving. Sadler is expected to drive the car this weekend at Martinsville. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did it. It was anticipated, it was even expected. His first Winston Cup win came Sunday in Texas. It wasn't rain-shortened, it didn't end under caution, there was nothing mysterious surrounding the circumstances. Instead, a dedicated rookie won in a dominant car.
Another Earnhardt in victory lane. It was only a matter of time.
I'm happy for him. He was a good kid. He drove his heart out.
Didn't surprise me none. Doing it with this whole bunch of guys is just totally awesome.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. started in the top 12 of every race this season, putting himself in a position to finish well. But the yellow stripe is on first-year drivers' cars for a reason. Inexperience and aggressive driving resulted in 2 straight 35th or lower finishes for Dale Jr. One of the biggest lessons a rookie can learn is patience.
What you've seen the last couple weeks is his inexperience. And you saw today the ability that he does have. It's just putting him in the right position at the right time, and he can get it done.
The Busch Series is tough. I mean, it is tough. It's as tough as Winston Cup. And people that say it's not, they're wrong. It's hard to win a race in Busch Series. It's hard to win a race over here. And if you got a good caliber team in the Busch Series that's really good and wins races every week, you can come to Winston Cup and win them because they're not really any tougher. I mean, both series are really tough.
I knew I was going to be comfortable here. You know, I don't want to say I knew I was going to be good here, but I knew I was going to be comfortable. But I anticipated the 18 and the 99 to 6 and a couple guys just be faster than us. We've been fast everywhere we went. We just ain't lasted long. You know, after 20 laps, our car went away and get to where I couldn't drive it. But here today, it just stuck with me and just happy.
For the first time in NASCAR's modern history, rookies have won in consecutive years. Tony Stewart rewrote the record books last year, winning 3 races. And with the heralded rookie crop in 2000, the question wasn't if it would happen, but when.
After last year, I don't know what to think anymore. It's a disadvantage to be around here for a while.
I thought it would have been before this. So, I mean, I think he's right on schedule right now, and I don't think that's the only one he'll get this year.
That's pretty awesome. I'll tell you what, it's hard to win these Winston Cup races, and, you know, he didn't back into it. They ran good all day, and they earned it, and they deserved it, and congratulations to them.
I figured we'd have a bunch of top 5s around June or July. June or July, we might be running competitive, real competitive, you know, but to come this soon, that's just a tribute to the team.
That shows you a young guy with not a young crew chief, but a new crew chief come in with some fresh ideas that worked in the Busch Series, and some of that stuff's working over here. And this is the kind of track that I really expected those guys to run well on. If you go back and look at their Busch Series, California, Michigan's, those kind of racetracks that kind of dominated those races, they figured out something that keeps the car going fast, but it goes good through the corner too, and it's real hard to beat.
I didn't think it would come this fast, so I really wasn't prepared, you know, to think about it or what, you know. Every time I was thinking about it during the race, I'm like, man, what if we do win this race? You know, what we're going to do, what's going to happen, what's it going to feel like? But you just jinx yourself sometimes when you do that. So, you know, we'll go home, we'll drink a lot of Budweiser and Bud Light.
Like father, like son, sort of. Their first Winston Cup win separated by 21 years and 1 day. Junior won on the big track, senior on the short track. They both led a lot of laps. They both won early in their rookie year. And as for the check, well, Junior's got some additional spending money. By the way, in 1979, Senior had 1 win and 17 top 10s. He finished 7th in points, 2 spots behind Benny Parsons. How much was that worth?
Not very much, probably about $10,000.
Yesterday, a good race, but an exceptional finish for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Unbelievable, Bill, just how talented this young man is, and I did not give him nearly enough credit. I think I've said that before. It bears repeating. Junior, I didn't give you enough credit. I'm sorry. You are a talent.
He's special. He made a believer out of you and a lot of other people.
A lot of other people. And also, we got to talk about Tony Uri, Jr. and Sr. Sr., the crew chief, Jr., the car chief. And it's almost, they've been together all their lives. Talking about Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Uri Jr., they grew up as kids together. Tony Uri Sr. and Dale Earnhardt were kids together. So it's almost like an uncle and a brother working on his race car. And these guys, I can see now why Earnhardt took them to the NASCAR Winston Cup together rather than bringing in someone else with more experience to lead that group, because Tony Uri Sr. is doing a fantastic job.
Well, they had a lot of success together in the Busch Series. Were you surprised when they moved as a unit to Winston Cup?
I really was, because you think maybe he'll go out and get someone more experienced guy that with some Winston Cup experience to take over and help Tony Uri Sr., but obviously he doesn't need any help.
So Dale Earnhardt Sr. deserves a lot of credit for what we've seen.
I think so, because he could see all this. He's known these guys, as I said, all of his life, and he could see the talent there and knew what they could do.
Okay, just 7 races in, 1 win for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Is Tony Stewart's rookie record for wins in jeopardy?
Oh, I don't know, but last year we talked about Tony Stewart going to Martinsville. Well, he'll have a tough time there. Well, what did he do? Sit on the pole and ran very, very well. And Junior, he'll have some trouble at Martinsville, Bill. Just wait. Won't have any brakes. He might go up there, sit on the pole, and win that race. We don't know.
Well, it was a 3rd-generation driver that went to victory lane on Sunday afternoon, but it was a 4th-generation driver that made his Winston Cup debut. It was Adam Petty, and he learned a few lessons along the way.
I think in the 180 or 60 laps, I don't even know how many I ran, I became a 10 times better race car driver than I was before I ever started this race. Those guys right out there are the best in the business, and whenever they get to you, they teach you something. I mean, Tony Stewart took the air off of me one time, and Earnhardt took the air off of me a couple times, and I realized my maximum, how hard I could drive a Winston Cup car.
School is in session for Adam Petty.
Well, let's compare this to school. All NASCAR Winston Cup drivers have master's degrees. Some of them have PhDs. Adam Petty right now is in high school.
And he's got a lot to learn.
He's got a lot to learn, that's right.
So let's talk about some of the other instances yesterday. First of all, let's talk about the other Earnhardt. Earnhardt Sr., another strong top 10 finish and oozing with confidence, Benny.
Yesterday on NASCAR Today, we had an interview with him, and he said the car that won Atlanta is on the truck as a backup. Makes me feel real good about the cars we have this year.
He said, we're going to have a good year. He said, this is going to be a good year. In the past, he said, the crew's good, the team's good, things are going well, but now he's saying, this is going to be a good year. That's a good sign for Earnhardt fans.
And he has all the confidence in the world, which leads that over and helps the crew get a lot of confidence.
Okay, some trouble on the racetrack on Sunday. Let's start with Earnhardt Jr.'s teammates Steve Park and Scott Pruitt. They got together.
You know, it's just one of those situations that both of them wanting to do really, really good. Scott Pruitt running second. Earnhardt Jr. just passed him. Park comes along trying to get by him. They make some contact there. He's off of him, but I think that Scott had to back off. I think his angle was wrong coming off turn 4. He probably squeezed out of the throttle just enough that Park goes up, hits him in the rear, and spins him.
Both those guys had a lot of desire to get something accomplished yesterday, and that might have gotten in the way and caused that wreck.
Exactly, because Pruitt needs to have something to build on, something for his team to build on. And right now, Steve Park, that was the 8 car, his teammate up in front of him. You know that Park wanted to catch Earnhardt Jr. and build his back bumper.
Now, we talked a little bit about Elliott Sadler earlier in the show, but take a look at this instance on the track, and this incident on the track, and what happened afterwards is very bizarre.
Unbelievable. Watch there. We see that's just a bump from Sterling Marlin to the 21 car. And then we heard that Elliott Sadler was in the hospital. There we see him pushing the car back to the garage area. What in the world is going on here? I talked to Elliott Sadler just a little bit ago. That punctured the left rear tire, knocked the air out of the left rear tire. In trying to get the car back to the pit area, the left rear tire came apart, started beating the body. It tore the quarter panel off, the roof off the car, the rear window on the left side out of the car, and finally part of that tire got to Elliott Sadler and beat him on the shoulder. Part of that tire hit him on the shoulder about 4 times, and he thought that it separated his shoulder. Now, he does have some, what they're treating as second-degree burns on his shoulder. He's not able to drive at Talladega this week, testing in the car. Morgan Shepherd's down there testing the car, but he said he feels like he will be ready to go to Martinsville. The tire came apart and beat Elliott Sadler almost to death.
Now that's bad luck. And if you want a guy that's having a lot of bad luck, you should go see Jeff Gordon, because his string of bad luck has been unbelievable.
Yeah, if you think you're having too much good luck and you want some bad luck, go talk to Jeff Gordon, because he has got it all. Watch here. We see Dave Blaney. I think he got a little bit loose, and I guess the 25 car Nadu backed up to avoid the 93, and Jeff got in the back of the 25. Look, Bill Elliott gets up on top of the 24 car, jumped up on top, beat the front end down. Jeff Gordon just can't get anything going here in the year 2000.
He's good at Martinsville. We'll talk about that in a little while, okay?
Okay.
All right, BP will stick around. Coming up on RPM tonight, the high-speed sights and sounds of the racing weekend around the country, recapped in this week's edition of Speed Shots and the Saturday afternoon drive at Charlotte.
Anyone been to Wendy's lately?
I have.
Why don't they have the Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich anymore?
That's marketing for you.
Well, I want to get one ASAP.
Who is this Dave 256?
Hi.
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch.
Sorry.
People do some strange things to cars. That's why there's Carfax. We'll give you the real history of any used car. Get a Carfax report from your dealer or at Carfax.com.
Fred is great. He always wants to play. Just look at him go. He's got so much energy, but he sure can work up quite a thirst. That's why I give him Budweiser. It's made with only the choicest hops and barley, and it's got a clean, crisp taste that he loves. I wouldn't give him anything less.
Today was a good day. I sent my grandkids off to Istanbul alone. I got rid of my cousin Oliver. Yeah! Today, I heard voices. Today was a good day. Yeah. Bye, Grandpa. Bye, kids. Ciao, you old bugger. Yeah! I heard voices. Fantastic day. Yeah.
Anyone been to Wendy's lately?
I have.
Why don't they have the Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich anymore?
That's marketing for you.
Well, I want to get one ASAP.
Who is this Dave 256?
Hi.
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch.
RPM Tonight is brought to you by Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. The love is back.
Trans Am took to the track in Charlotte on Saturday with Paul Gentilossi starting from the pole. Gentilossi was looking to rebound from the fourth-place finish he had at Sebring thanks to that flat tire. Well, he led the way for the first 11 laps of the race, but Deja Vu would strike the home link Jag. Gentilossi had a tire go down and would have to head back to the pits. Stu Hayner would hold the lead for a while, but retired with mechanical trouble. Brian Simo took over the top spot and went on to his second win of the season. After 2 of the 12 races on the Trans Am circuit, Simo is a perfect 2 for 2 and on top of the standings by 14 points. Gentilossi was fined half his points and all of his share of the purse for on-course contact with another car. Leighton Reese rounds out the top 6, 35 points back. A European invasion also hit the Charlotte Motor Speedway Saturday. The American Le Mans Series rolled into town for an afternoon enduro, bringing with it a fine mix of cars and competition.
The American Le Mans Series came to the heart of NASCAR country not for the left turns on the 1.5-mile oval, but for the lefts and rights of the 2.25-mile road course that runs through the infield. 3 classes of cars were represented in the 2-hour and 45-minute timed event, a field of 23 cars taking the green flag. In the prototype class, the battle was between Audi, BMW, and Panos, with the number 42 BMW taking the overall and class win. J.J. Leto and Jörg Mueller piloted their car to BMW's first win of the season.
It was a brilliant weekend for us.
we were already first in qualifying. JJ did a brilliant job in qualifying. That was one of the keys. And the other thing was just a brilliant team strategy. You know, we just won the places in the pits, and thanks to all my pit crew and to my, I mean, we've had a bulletproof car.
In the GTS class, it was all Dodge Viper. Their only competition came from 2 Porsche turbos. However, what should have been a 1-2 finish for Dodge was spoiled when the number 92 car of Tommy Archer and David Donahue suffered a transmission failure early in the race. The number 91 Dodge Viper of Carl Vedlinger and Olivier Beretta took the GT win after a flawless drive.
We were running more or less on our own all the race. I mean, we're still pushing because, first of all, if you try to slow down too much, maybe you lose concentration and it's easy to have a spin then. And second, we were not looking, of course, for an overall win, but we know the faster we are, more we can, further forward we can finish in the overall standing. So for that reason, we pushed until the end of the race.
The GT class saw the best battle of the afternoon, with a prototype technology group BMW being chased by the number 51 Porsche 911 of Dick Barber Racing. Peter Cunningham did all that he could to keep his BMW out front, but with 3 minutes left in the race, he was passed by Sasha Maassen. Maassen pulled off a pass in the chicane to get the win.
It was really a tough race, and it was a sprint race after 2.5 hours. And, well, 2 laps before the end, I had to do a hell of a maneuver and overtake him outside into a chicane. And, I didn't thought before that would be possible. It worked out.
We just weren't quite as fast as that 51 car, and when that last yellow came out and they got all the way around up behind us, I hung on for as long as I could, but they beat us fair and square, and I'm very proud of this Team PTG BMW team, but we'll have to come back with a couple of brand new E46s at Silverstone here next month.
Next on the show, Benny is back for a look ahead to the long weekend at Martinsville.
Village Ford of Louisville is rounding up the great deals during its Stampede of Savings. Right now, save $9,000 on all 99 F-150 Super Cab conversion trucks. Or for those heavy-duty jobs, save $9,000 on all new 99 F-350 conversion trucks. And when the work's all done, it's time to head out in one of our top-of-the-line conversion vans. These powerful deals are all waiting for you at Village Ford of Louisville during the annual Ford Stampede of Savings. I-35 at Valley Ridge, exit 453, open Sunday 11 to 7.
If you're not happy with your bleeping job, then do us a bleeping favor. Find some bleeping thing that you would rather be doing. Some bleeping thing that you would love to be doing. And then you'll find that you're a whole lot bleeping happier, and you may have one fabulously huge bleeping idea that will change your bleeping life. We're only going to be around for a short while, and then we're gone for a long bleeping time.
We want to give back to the community, and that's why a lot of us are involved in the Big Buddy program. A chance to give children something they would otherwise never see, to meet their heroes.
When I pass it to you, just give it right back. All right, now give it back. Oh, you shooting! Pass the ball! Pass the ball! Easy, man. Be a big play. Like defense! Get on him! Get on him! Get it out,
Being a Big Buddy allows us to give back, and, you know, that feels pretty good.
Get out! Walk off! Your parents signed the permission slip. Get up, man.
The next stop for the Winston Cup Series is Martinsville, Virginia for the Goodies Body Pain 500. The action gets started with the first round of qualifying on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock on ESPN2. It'll be a full weekend of race coverage for Martinsville on ESPN and ESPN2. And Benny is back with us, and qualifying at Martinsville is important.
Doggone important, because of a little flat half-mile racetrack, it's difficult to pass, so the farther up front you can start, the better off you are.
When you go to Martinsville, one of the guys you think about is Rusty Wallace. He won at Bristol. He had a good race at Texas. He finished 4th. Martinsville will be his 500th career start. He's 5th in points.
And he runs so well at Martinsville. Rusty Wallace, you're going to have to beat him to win the race at Martinsville. There's no doubt about that. And also, we talk about qualifying. How about the pit road? Picking pits. And there's only one good spot on pit road. That's number 1 over by the second corner. So obviously the pole winner is going to have an advantage in the pits.
And we'll see what happens Friday afternoon in qualifying. The Busch race breaks away from the Winston Cup Series this weekend. They go to Nashville. But before we talk about that, we look back to last weekend at Texas on Saturday, and it was that Mark Martin guy again.
Doggone the luck. Mark's not going to be able to go to to Nashville and win a Busch race. Doggone, he'll have to go to NASCAR, the Winston Cup race in Martinsville, and play with Rusty and Jeff and Earnhardt and those guys. But I tell you what, he has been unbelievable. But, Bill, I knew this was going to happen. When I saw him in Las Vegas, just how determined he was to win, I knew he was going to be hard to beat this year.
And obviously the Busch race in Nashville, all the Busch regulars will be there. A tight, small track where there's normally a lot of fighting for the lead.
Yeah, and I think it's a racetrack a great deal like Rockingham and Darlington, where you really have to save those tires. You can't go out there and run hard those first 25, 30 laps. You got to save those tires, have something at the end of the run. And we also have some great drivers that very experienced at Nashville. Casey Atwood will be tough to beat at Nashville this weekend.
When the Winston Cup guys get to Martinsville, one guy I think we'll have to watch for in addition to Rusty is Jeff Gordon. We talked about his bad luck, but this is a track where he won the last race here last fall and was third in this race a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Gordon has had, since Charlotte last fall, has had nothing to brag about. So he's going back to Martinsville, a place that he won just before Charlotte. He needs to try to put it back together and get something to hang that this team's hat on, because hasn't been anything good this year and the last part of last year.
Okay, put on your thinking cap. The emails are next, okay?
Oh, me. Okay.
All right, Benny will be standing by, but coming up, all the highlights without the commercials. Speed Shots is all queued up and racing your way.
Cloaked in mystery, eagerly anticipated. It's been analyzed and scrutinized by some of the finest minds in the business. But it all began with a simple truth. If the bread tastes better, the sandwich will too. Ultimately, it received the hearty approval of one and all, including you, the customer. It's the new bread at Subway.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Baked fresh daily. Try it on your favorite sandwich. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Hey, we made it! Is this place heaven or what? You want heaven? Try this.
New Wild Vines Raspberry Zinfandel.
Friday, yes.
It's not just Zinfandel, it's Raspberry Zinfandel.
It's great. Whoa. Sorry.
Wild Vines' new Raspberry Zinfandel. It goes perfect with letting go, leaving the world behind. New Wild Vines Raspberry Zinfandel. It's wine like you've never tasted.
Oh, you're locked out? There you go. Are you Matt Madonna?
Yeah.
Wow.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
So you're locked out of your car. Is that the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Nice going.
Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Last year at Martinsville, Jimmy Hensley was the king. Well, actually, he was driving for the king, and he took the king and his crew to Victory Lane. The Craftsman Truck Series returns to Martinsville this weekend. Pickup trucks on a half-mile track. There could be a caution or two. It's the Napa 250, Saturday at 2 o'clock on ESPN. And Benny Parsons will be there for that. But first, you're here to answer email questions. Are you ready, Professor?
I'm ready.
Okay, then let's dip into the email bag and get your first one from Dave in Alabama. Explain the new rule about tires on pit road.
Dave, reading the NASCAR release says the drivers have got to take those tires off pit road back over towards the wall. They've only got to take them halfway, but it says any tires left halfway the pit box, outside the pit box, will be penalized.
Our next question comes from Danny in Kentucky. Is it legal for a NASCAR official to stop a loose tire before it goes across pit road?
Not only is it legal, Danny, it's just good common sense to see a tire rolling across pit road. The official stops it and rolls it back to the crew. That tire keeps rolling. Some car may hit it. Now, we see the officials, when they aren't there, that's when the tires continue rolling across pit road.
Benny, how much does it cost to field an average Winston Cup team? How much for a really good one, Matt wants to know.
Well, Matt, if you don't have anything, it probably is going to cost you $5 or $6 million just to start this team, to buy your shop, your truck, your transport, your race cars, your engines. Now, once you have everything, an average team, it'll probably take them $5 or $6 million a year to maintain that team. A really good one, probably $8 or $9 million a year to maintain it.
Whew. Kim has our next question. How does NASCAR determine who gets what garage stall for a race weekend?
Well, Kim, number one garage stall, and the truck is parked number one. That's the 1999 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, Dale Jarrett, in his car. And then the garage stalls are issued out based on the year 2000 NASCAR owners' point standings.
And here's one more question for you, Benny. Do crew guys get to share in the winnings?
Jeff, I think most all guys today do get some kind of share in what the car wins. And some of them, it's pretty doggone good. And some of the pit crews also get a bonus based on their time. Someone in their crew is back on the other side of the wall, clocking that pit stop, and if it's under 16 seconds or under 17 seconds, all those guys will get a bonus.
Benny, thanks for coming by. We'll see you Friday at Martinsville.
All right, Bill.
Okay, here's our fast fact. The last time there were 7 different winners in the first 7 races of the season was 1991. The guy who became the first 2-time winner that year, Dale Earnhardt at Martinsville.
Do some strange things to cars. That's why there's Carfax. We'll give you the real history of any used car. Get a Carfax report from your dealer or at Carfax.com.
I am Muriel Romeo. Hi, this is Betsy. This is my buddy. Betsy and I help the customer by lowering our prices. Even way up here, the prices are low. Betsy and I put on a lot of miles every year. If people don't like to save money, then they're just lying. If you want to find the lowest price guaranteed, just follow me. If you find a lower price somewhere else, I'd like to know about it.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Baseball's ultimate road trip heads for Seattle, where all-star shortstops face off. Nomar leads the Bo Sox in a battle with A-Rod and the Mariners. The ultimate road trip rolls on. Red Sox Mariners, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN.
RPM Tonight is brought to you by the Home Depot, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR.
Sunday afternoon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. went to Victory Lane at Texas. Hey, Dale, where are you going on Tuesday? I'll tell you where. He's going to be here on RPM Tonight. It's the most popular seat in racing, at least for the last 4 Winston Cup winners. Junior here Tuesday night at 6:30. And write this on the refrigerator. Tuesday it is 6:30, Wednesday at 7, Thursday at 6:30, and Friday night at 8. Write it down so you don't see just the last 5 minutes. If you forget, call Kernan at home. He won't. Tuesday night, Dale Jr. will be here, rested and recovered from his victory and his victory celebration. Jan Beekes previews the kart race, and Jerry Punch at boot camp. I have no idea. That's Tuesday night at 6:30 Eastern Time. See you then.
RPM Tonight is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.